give me a quick...
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Awesome, thanks.
Strawberry lime or
Lime. I haven't had that one in a while. Thanks. Now I just have to pray he doesn't call right in the middle
I
of
know.
my
I thought about that.
6-thing shuffle that I do. I forgot about spilling water on this yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was in a mad scramble just now testing everything.
Sure.
Ay, 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 ay. That sounds good.
Good.
Calm down.
Sorry. Go. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, boy. Seconds.
I don't know if we've ever had a guest at the top of the show.
I don't think so either.
Gonna have to zoom through all the intro stuff.
I'm Greg Tepper. That's Max Thompson. We don't want to waste any time. We've got the new Texas State head man on the line. 10 seconds.
I'm gonna wait to tweet about it until he actually calls. Yes, y'all. It is DCTF Live. Thursday, January 21st, 2016. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Over there, upset about something that happened on the computer is Max Thompson.
I was working on our new graphics for our first guest.
Oh, yeah.
And I left them up, so when I went to put your graphics up,
it flashed up for a second.
Flashed the old graphics.
Well, I guess spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We're
now you all know who's going to be on the show.
We should be joined here in just a minute by the head coach of the Texas State Bobcats, Everett Withers, will be joining us here. That is
the hot rumor.
That is the hot rumor. It is episode number 58, the Mark Hamburger episode.
Wow. Okay.
Fun fact about Mark Hamburger.
Okay.
One of my father's favorite players because he was super nice to my mom at spring training once.
Sure. Okay.
It's the same reason why my mom will always have a soft spot for Luis Gonzalez.
And why not?
Because Luis Gonzalez was super nice to her at the Astrodome once.
Yeah.
So she'll always have a soft spot for that.
Okay.
We are DCTF Live. We are a daily live show every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com. Talking football in the state of Texas. You can also subscribe to the podcast.
Sometimes we talk football.
On iTunes, TexasFootball.com/podcast to get to there. Want to remind you while we're shilling things, Texas Football Rising, our new recruiting magazine, about to hit shelves, should be hitting shelves starting about today. So go look for it. Otherwise, you can order it online at texasfootball.com, where you can get all sorts of fun stuff there.
Yeah.
It is raining here.
It's raining a lot.
It's raining a lot. It is gross. Oh, my phone's ringing, and I didn't put it on silent.
And my phone's ringing.
And that's much more important. It is raining here. It's pretty gross here. But we are powering through because we care about you. We care about you, the Texas football fan. And what better way to kick off a big episode of DCTF Live than to talk to one of the 12 FBS coaches in the state of Texas. He is back in the Lone Star State. We are so pleased to be joined by the new coach of the Texas State Bobcats, Everett Withers. Coach Withers, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem, guys. Appreciate you having me.
How has the last month been like for you?
It's been a little crazy, when you're working at one school and you're recruiting and trying to sell that school, and all of a sudden you get in a mix and end up taking a job somewhere else. It gets kind of hairy, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of activity.
You've bounced around in your career everywhere from the Southeast to Louisville to Minnesota, North Carolina, all over the place. Does Texas feel like home for you?
Well, I will tell you this. My 3 years in Austin, 98, 99, 2000 were three of the best years in my coaching career. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the passionate fan, state of Texas. My family enjoyed it. My son was born in Austin. Austin feels a little bit more like home than a lot of other places.
Absolutely. And you mentioned in your press conference that you had a phone call with the Texas State Athletic Director, Larry Tice. And after that call, you were convinced that Texas State was right for you. What happened in that phone call that did the convincing?
Well, Greg, I really believe that the phone call was Larry really looking for someone to come in here and re-energize the program. And it just brought back memories really from 2 years previous when we took over a program at James Madison. James Madison was looking for the same thing. They were looking for energy and enthusiasm. And that's what I felt in Larry's voice when we talked. And somebody to come in here and instill a plan, recruiting, and go 100 miles an hour with your hair on fire. And that's what we're about here. That's what we're about here. Go really hard with a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm, and go try to win a bunch of games with good kids.
You've now been in San Marcos for a month. Have you gotten a feel for the program? And if you were to issue a quote-unquote state of the program address, what would you say is the state of Texas State right now?
I've been in San Marcos about a week and a half.
Never mind.
About 10 days. And for me to sit here and be really, really honest and give you a state of the program, I can't do that right now. I know we got a lot of work to do. I know we got some kids here that are really looking forward to change and a new direction and maybe somebody come in here and give them a plan to win. I know that's what these kids on campus are looking for. I know our student body is looking for excitement in the football program. So right now, we're still evaluating a lot of things. There's a lot of things to evaluate. I know this is a talent-rich state. It's a talent-rich area. It's a gorgeous campus. I think the administration's got the right plan on how to upgrade and continue to grow Texas State football. So, we're excited to go to work every day.
I think that folks now, having gotten to know you in the Lone Star State, know that you've been a winner anywhere and everywhere that you've gone. But for folks who haven't watched a team coached by Everett Withers, what brand of football can we expect from Texas State?
Well, we expect to have an exciting brand of football. We want to be, good on defense. We want to be, a fly-around, physical defense, force people to kick field goals, turn the ball over to our offense, be an aggressive special teams group with a lot of guys on it that have a passion for being on special teams, and then be an offensive unit that scores a bunch of points, runs a bunch of plays, be high tempo, and light up the scoreboard. We talk about party in the end zone as a hashtag. That's what we want to do on offense, party in the end zone.
Party in the end zone. I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
We're talking with Texas State head coach Everett Withers here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, you do have some FBS coaching experience. You spent a year as the interim coach at North Carolina. What did you gain? I know it was only a short tenure there, but what did you gain from your time at North Carolina, especially as the head coach?
Well, when you've been a coordinator for a long time, you kind of get locked in and boxed into your side of the ball and your responsibilities as a coordinator and only the players that you deal with. When you're a head coach, man, you got 120, 125 young men that you're responsible for, and you're responsible for every aspect of their life. I mean, that's the football aspect, that's the social aspect, that's the academic aspect of it. So. You got a lot more things going on. I learned that probably in that 4 or 5 month period that I was the interim head coach. But I felt like when I took that job on July the 28th, I was prepared for it. So, and hopefully that's where I am right now.
One of the challenges for any new coach at the FBS level or at any level is filling out your coaching staff. What kind of strategy do you employ in filling out your staff?
I look for people who want to impact young people's lives, not just as football coaches. I look for young people in the coaching profession because I do believe in hiring and somebody helped me start in this profession, boy, and I feel like I want to pay it forward. So I want to help some young people that have aspirations and goals in their lives to be head coaches one day. I think one of the goals as a head coach is to coach coaches, and I want to be able to coach young coaches in that aspect. But I want to be around. Want to be around kids. Coaches that want to be mentors to kids, want to grow kids on and off the field.
Speaking of kids, the place you get that is obviously in recruiting. You mentioned the talent-rich area here in the state of Texas. You don't have to go too far to fill out an outstanding roster. What kind of players are you looking for to bring on campus at San Marcos?
They got to love the game of football. You have to absolutely love the game of football. This is, it's a game. It is a game, but it's not a hobby. So you got to absolutely love the game of football. You have to have a desire to get better. Want to be coached really hard because our coaches. Another thing I'll add to hiring coaches, I want to coach coaches that be around coaches who want to coach really hard. And again, in every aspect of his life, and a kid that's looking for that. That's a sponge when it comes to coaching, and a kid that wants to be an impact player on a football team. He's got to be wanting to be a part of a team that wins, and not be an individual, but part of something special on a team that wins.
Texas State is still, in relative terms, especially compared to a lot of the programs across the state, still a new kid in the FBS ranks. Do you view that as a challenge or an opportunity?
I view it as both. It's a challenge, obviously, because when you step up in scholarship numbers and you're trying to grow a roster in the early stages, that's a challenge. It's about getting the right mix of kids on your team, and from there develop kids and get them to play at a high level and be successful. Not just on the football field, but in the classroom too. So it's a challenge, but it's a great opportunity, to see something like that grow and get better. Our goal is to go try to win a Sun Belt championship, and that's a challenge, but it's also an unbelievable opportunity for us.
Coach, you had probably my favorite moment in a press conference in 2016 earlier this year when you said that you were going to have trophy kissing practice. You're going to practice kissing the trophy, and you made it very clear that wasn't a joke, that you're actually going to do it. What can you tell us about trophy kissing practice?
Well, there's an art. There's an art, and you have to learn it because, if when you have a championship trophy and there's, 40, 30 some odd guys on a platform holding it, there's a lot of germs on it. So you have to understand that you have to kiss it a certain way so you don't get sick and that kind of stuff. So I think it's an art, and we'll teach our kids how to do it. We got a long way to go before we get to that trophy kissing practice. We got a bunch of work to do, but we're headed in the right direction, I believe.
There is no doubt about that. He is Everett Withers. He is the new coach of the Texas State Bobcats. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Get to work, and good luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll be talking soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Good day.
There he goes, Everett Withers, the head coach of the Texas State Bobcats. I want to run through a wall. And you know what? It's funny. He mentioned, we talked about the trophy kissing practice, which, again, is just fabulous.
It's a fantastic line.
But he's exactly right.
Oh, sure.
That you don't want to be slobbering all over the trophy.
No.
You gotta do it right. And when they get there, and I've said since the day they hired him, that the one thing about Everett Withers, winner. Yeah. He is a guy who wins. Period. You can't
argue with the track record. Just look at it.
You can't stop him from winning. And so Texas State is on the upswing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And it won't be long before they're going to have needed that trophy kissing practice. And that's it's a whirlwind, I know, for him right now.
Yeah.
Leaving James Madison where he had great success. Heck, he knocked off SMU earlier this year or last year.
Yeah.
But leaving, doing that, and now 10 days, he's got to put together a recruiting class.
Right.
And I thought that one of the best things he said in that interview was that football is a game, but it's not a hobby.
Right.
And he needs kids who are committed to the cause and to the cause of Texas State football.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's going to find some.
Yeah.
He's a fiery guy. He's got a ton of energy, and I think that Larry Tice, the athletic director, knew that, and I think that that him having that conversation, saying he needed somebody to instill more energy into the program, I think they found it. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Very, very excited to see what he does at Texas State.
I don't, the funny thing, we talked a little bit about this, but, there were definitely some naysayers that didn't like the hire, but I'm not really sure what else you want out of a hire if you're Texas State. How can you argue with most? I mean, the one thing you could say, maybe you like some more inroads in Texas, but it's not like he hasn't been here.
He's been here, and you look up and down his resume, it is littered with areas around Texas. Yeah. So if you are a guy who wants to see him go and recruit in Louisiana, or you want to see him go recruit in Arkansas, well, he coached, he coached at Tulane. He coached at Southern Miss. Yeah. He coached at Austin Peay. He was an assistant for the Saints. Yeah. I mean, he's got inroads there.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who, and everywhere he's been, he's won. And to me, that is the end, the beginning and end of the conversation, is that he is just a straight-up winner. We are DCTF Live. We are here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the state of Texas. I'm Greg. That's Max. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. TexasFootball.com/podcast is where you can find it. And so I have an internet friend.
Yeah, you do.
I do have an internet friend.
Good old Bill.
My friend Bill Connolly. Bill Connolly.
Bill's a good dude.
Bill Connolly is the chief nerd for, I mean that as nice as possible. He is the chief nerd for SB Nation.
Yes. You and I follow his work scrupulously.
He is my leader when it comes to statistics and general breakdown of the game of football. I'm a big fan of his. And he every year he does a great piece for SB Nation. We just tweeted it at DCTF. I'll retweet it here in a moment. It is the 100 greatest college football games of the year, of the past season. And his 2015 edition dropped today, and immediately I poured through it. great as always. Does a great job, not just ranking the teams, ranking the games, but also giving you insight as to why. And it should be no surprise that teams from the state of Texas are major players here, are major players on this list. In fact, 19 of the 100 games involve at least one Texas team. 19 of them, ranging from number 86 all the way down to number 2. And I imagine we should probably just start at the start with the headliners, right? Start with number 2. So we'll start as the highest ranked one. TCU will be a team you hear a lot about, probably because they played a lot of exciting games. And we start with number 2, and I think that is a perfectly acceptable place for it. Yeah. It's the Alamo Bowl, the 47-41 overtime win over Oregon. It was a remarkable game, and we came in the day after it just raving about it. Yeah. Raving about what a game it was and how remarkable it was to see Bram Kohlhausen bring them back. Back from a 31-point halftime deficit. Yeah. 31 points.
Is that all?
31 points. I mean, this game was over at halftime.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing the score and just being like, well, I'm not going to turn that one on.
I remember I went to a movie in the second half.
Yeah. You're like, well.
I went and saw, I think was it The Big Short? No, it was Star Wars. I went and saw Star Wars in the second half. I had it DVR'd, and I really came close to canceling the DVR. I was like, I don't need this. I don't need to see the end of a 49-14 game.
Nah.
Sure enough, back comes TCU. And they pull off a remarkable one. I think very worthy of being the number 2 game. Number 1 game, by the way, is Arkansas and Ole Miss. That crazy game where Arkansas went for 2 and had that incredible comeback. It was just stupid.
Yeah.
Then number 6, TCU shows up again. Their win over Texas Tech. Another time I was out for this game, but I was watching it at a local dining establishment. And that local dining establishment, when Aaron Green hauled in that tipped pass in the back of the end zone to, at that moment, save TCU's season.
It was really quiet in there, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Everyone just went about
no one was
eating.
Watching.
Everyone just went about eating. No, that place erupted. And this was not a sports bar. Okay,
no.
This was like a restaurant.
Whoa!
And that was, I mean, if you were to pick out a singular play from the 2015 season in the state of Texas.
That's got to be it, right?
It's got to be that. Or it's got to be TCU's stop of Baylor in the in double overtime.
Yes,
those would be your 2 options. But that comes in at number 6 on Bill Connolly's list.
I think the tip pass is probably going to endure in memories a little bit longer.
I think you're probably right, but that's just me. TCU shows up again at 13 and 14. 13 is their loss to Oklahoma, 30-29. Okay. TCU had no business being in that game. You know, Trevon Boykin was out. Josh Doxson was out. They were missing. I'm sorry, not Boykin. I'm sorry, that was it. Boykin was out for that game.
Right, there you go.
But Doxson was already out.
Yep.
I mean, they had no business being in that game, and they very nearly came back and won it. TCU shows up again at 14 with their 52-45 win over Kansas State.
Yeah.
And they were down big, 35-17 at halftime. That was kind of the story. I mean, we don't talk about that enough, but TCU was very much a second-half team.
They were playing with fire all year, which we did talk about.
Yeah, they played with fire.
And you look at it in retrospect, and it all kind of makes sense.
Number 21, non-TCU category, Oklahoma State's win over Texas Tech. As he calls it, the most Big 12 of all Big 12 games this season.
Yeah, that's pretty
70-53, Oklahoma State survives Texas Tech. And the thing is, Texas Tech, for long stretches of this game, was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. And what's funny is that they lost by 17, but it feels like a one-possession game.
It really did.
Because of the way it went back and forth. More than 1,300 yards of offense. That comes in at number 21 on his list. 25 was Cal's win over Texas. Of course, the missed extra point, the remarkable Texas comeback.
Yeah.
Gerard Hurd was fantastic.
Yep.
And then they missed the extra point and lose 45-44. 35 on Bill Connolly's list of the 100 greatest games in college football this year. The Russell Athletic Bowl.
Sure.
Baylor's win over North Carolina.
Just for sheer shock value.
Yeah. That a year after setting a bowl record for passing yards in a game, they come and set a bowl record for rushing yards in a game.
This is all we have. Try to stop it.
651 yards in that one. That was pretty silly.
Is that the most surreal game?
Maybe.
Easily the most confusing, hard to predict game of the year.
It was. I think that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something else, but
no, that
game made no sense.
It didn't. 37. Baylor shows up again. Their 31-24 squeaker over Kansas State. 39. Oklahoma State 30-27 win over Texas, where Oklahoma State boots. Or that was the missed punt snap. That's what caused man.
And then they just kicked a field goal.
Exactly. So those are the ones in the top 40, rounding out them. And again, this is all worth going and reading yourself.
Yeah.
SBNation.com
Everything
is
Bill
where you can
does
find it. Yes, absolutely. 43 was Connecticut's win over Houston. Actually, he has a triumvirate of Houston games.
Nice.
Houston's loss to UConn is 43. 44 is Houston's win over Memphis, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And then 45 was Houston's win over Cincinnati. A little surprised. The only thing, and I guess because it wasn't necessarily, the thriller and to be the top 100 games. The one Houston game that I was surprised didn't find its way onto here was the Navy game.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really fun game, but obviously I'm a little biased because we follow the 12 teams in the state of Texas. 65 was Tex 48-45 win over Texas.
Well, really the Memphis game.
Yeah. Memphis 43 or 44.
Okay.
Yeah. Memphis is on there. Number 69, the nicest game of all was Texas's 24-17 win over Oklahoma. Which is still, as we've said
also,
many times on this show,
in hindsight, maybe the most surreal.
The biggest sports mystery in the nation in 100 years.
Made no sense.
How they beat. I mean, think about that. And then he has at number 70, Texas's win over Baylor.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that. Texas went 5-7. Okay?
I don't want to think about it.
Texas went 5-7. Texas missed a bowl game.
Yeah.
Texas got shut out by Iowa State.
Yeah. Go Clones.
Texas beat Oklahoma, who was in the college football playoff, and Baylor, who won 10 games.
I don't know.
Make some sense of that. Texas was the weirdest team in the nation this year. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
I got nothing for you.
Number 75 was TCU's win over Baylor, 28-21 in double overtime. The game that we knew was going to be close, we just didn't expect it to be like this kind of close.
Yeah.
It was a sloppy, ugly game in the rain where nobody could get any offense going. Everyone was hurt, and nobody could get any sort of footing either on the scoreboard or on the field. Baylor ends up coming up a yard short on fourth down in double overtime, and TCU comes away with a 28-21 win. 77, Texas A&M's win over Arkansas, a game that I think gets forgotten. And remember, A&M, and this is...
That was a great game. Great finish, anyway. It wasn't a good game.
No, these A&M Arkansas games always go the same way, it seems.
It's so weird.
They always go in the sense that Arkansas looks like they're going to put it away, and then A&M pulls the rabbit out of their hat. If you're Arkansas, you hate A&M. You feel like you should have 3 wins over them in the last 3 years.
For sure.
And A&M has found a way.
Especially the way that A&M seasons have ended versus Arkansas, who seems to build momentum as it goes.
Exactly. I think that 77 A&M's win over Arkansas. And then another game that I think it's super, super overlooked, the I-10 rivalry. Number 85, UTEP's 50-47 win over New Mexico State. This might be the weirdest result of the year in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, because UTEP is not this offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, the fact that they scored that many points is kind of a Christmas miracle.
It absolutely is. Yeah. But this, but if you remember correctly, New Mexico State had a big lead, 30-16, heading into the fourth quarter, and then they just 30-16, and the game ended 50-47 in overtime.
Makes no sense.
UTEP forced overtime with that 98-yard drive in 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they do it all through the air. Ryan Metz is just fantastic.
Yeah, makes no sense.
It was just...
the best player in the game,
Larry Rose
III,
played for... Yes.
But he's on the other team.
Yeah, played for them. And then 86 rounding out the Texas teams in Bill Connolly's top 100 games of 2015.
On SB Nation.
Yes, SBNation.com. LSU's 19-7 win over A&M, which I think just it's there for a lot of different. That was not a good.
Someone's got to be at the end of the list.
That wasn't a pretty game. That wasn't a pretty game at all. LSU guts it out. A&M's offense was really woeful in that game.
Yeah.
They saved Les Miles' job basically.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of mitigating circumstances there.
Sure.
If you're interested, number 100 was Wake Forest 3, Boston College 0. Back in October 10th.
Yeah, you got to throw that one in there, right?
Yeah, but it was it's a great list. It's a great read every year. Bill Connolly's top 100 college football games of 2015 is on SBNation.com. I will tweet a link here in just a moment. Bill tweeted me. Hey, Bill. Yes. So go on and read it. It's a great read. It's if you're having lunch right now, as soon as you're done watching us,
good lunchtime reading.
Go read this.
Yeah.
It will definitely take you take you down memory lane.
Yeah.
And you'll remember games that I think you forgot, like the UTEP New Mexico State game.
Yeah.
Game that didn't get its due.
A&M Arkansas.
A&M Arkansas.
Definitely one I forgot.
Yeah. I think I forgot how great Houston Cincinnati was. And remember, that was in week 3.
Yeah.
And Houston, that was the time where we go, okay, maybe Houston's got something here. That was the first time that it kind of dawned on us.
Yeah.
So make sure you go read that. SBNation.com. Bill Connolly's top 100 college football games of 2015. That's going to do it for us. Thanks again to Everett Withers, the new coach of the Texas State Bobcats, for joining us. Great dude. And very excited to see what he does with the Bobcats. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see it's TexasFootball.com. If you have any topics you want us to talk about for Off Topic Friday tomorrow, tweet it to us at DCTF. Use the hashtag DCTFLive. And that's it. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. And we will see you tomorrow on DCTF Live.